Hello, it's Chanique here, and today we are going to help you maximize your cold emailing so that you are attracting high volume, high ticket house cleaning clients. Well, house cleaning services. This is exactly what I do with my clients to warm up their leads list. And this is actually a part of the high ticket client connect and convert playbook. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen and just really play off exactly what you will be experiencing. Okay, once you get the playbook, I'm just have it straight from my Canva, but you would get the PDF version. It's free to download. You could just check in the description box. It's a breakdown of how to attract high ticket house clients. We neglect house cleaning clients. Yes, commercial may have larger contracts, but there's still house clients that need cleaning, and you can attract high ticket 500, 800, 1,000, 2,000 plus. Typically, your deep cleans, your move out and move in cleans, your post construction cleans. Those are the cleans we're focusing on. That's why we can cold email these individuals, because you're typically cold emailing contractors, project managers, real estate agents that have high volume properties. These people work with homes all the time and they always need a turnover. So this is how we're going to cold email them. This is very simple, very dummy proof. You don't need no fancy marketing strategy, no fancy marketing skills. I'm going to break down the simplest way on how I worked and locked in multiple contractors that call me, that you would call me over and over. And this is the same exact strategy I teach my clients as we tweak and strategize what that looks like for their business. The playbook has a whole bunch of ways of how you're going to attract these people. This is the bonus part of how to use cold calling. Now, it's going to break down exactly what essentially cold reaching is. Some of you might be nervous around cold calling or cold emailing, but once you think of cold outreach in this way, you're going to be excited to reach out to people. Cold reaching isn't about selling. It's simply about discovering if there's a need and creating a value. Your goal is to find potential clients that are in a current need for the service and or always are looking for potential cleaning service, so you can be on their top of mind. This is why cold emailing doesn't have to be complicated, and simply your main goal is to get a reaction. So when you get the PDF, you're going to click on the link and it's going to open up here to a cold. Oh, that's a cold calling. I'm not going to talk about the cold calling today, but there's a cold calling script. You're going to get the cold emailing. Perfect. This is specific to real estate professionals that deal with high levels or high volumes of properties that need to be turned over. You can always edit it to be speaking to property managers, contractors, anyone without that have high volume homes to be taken care of. Suggested resources is hunter.io. I also give a link to get a discount in the first few months working with them, but there are free plans. Essentially, instead of using Google or Gmail, this is an emailing campaign software that is going to automate all your cold emails. So you are able to send hundreds, even thousands of emails per day. Just you're going to see an explanation of how to use Hunter.io. I have a video already on how I used it back in the day. I probably will update that as well. Then if you want an already populated list, then you can go to D7 Leads, which is a well-known lead generator. It is a paid service, but it saves so much time, where Hunter.io, it is an extension. If you can see here, I have the extension here. And when you click on it, it's going to pop up any emails that associate with the website. So if you can see here, apparently Stephanie Wong is head developer of the relationship, you click save. And then when you open hunter.io, it's going to have all your saved emails, and you will then start your campaign. These 7 leads just populates it in one shot rather than having to go to separate websites. It's up to you how much money you have to invest or how much time you have to invest. Either way, both great tools. Having them both is even better. Now, this is the exact email I use to connect with dozens of active professionals in my area and close thousands of dollars in revenue consistently. So if you notice that each of these emails are very short, mistakes that most cleaning businesses do is they blab a whole proposal upon their first email, which is a mistake because one, you don't even know if the email's active, whether or not there's going to open, or if there is a need. That's where you become bombarding, you become spammy, and you lack the ability to build a relationship. You simply want a short subject line that sparks curiosity and more likely to open. Think a real estate agent who sublined is quick question are more likely to open because they are in contact with a lot of people that need questions. So they're going to most likely open. I have a close rate of 30% with this campaign. And when you get these open, you can simply, what I have here is some kind of suggestion that is personal to the individual that you're reaching out to, a compliment or something that really speaks to the industry. And essentially, we're just asking, are you looking to streamline your operations, your system in regarding to helping your property sell? Okay. If you're using a property manager, it's probably your turnovers. If it's a contractor, or even a stage company, you're probably going to be talking about how you want to flip and turn over your projects faster, right? And you're just going down. These are very simple emails. All you do is plug and play, tweak a little bit things, but what you're not doing is going to blab in, my cleaning company's been around for 15 years. We service this area and we will give you 15%. That's not necessary right now. All you want to do is get them to say yes or no or not interested. You want some kind of response, because from there, then you can handle the objection and or get the real reasons and move into a walkthrough or send over a proposal according to their needs. So that's simply how it is. You could get this template, again, free down below. Now, when someone has responded, whether it's a yes or a no, if it's a no, you're going to update this in regarding to just saying, hey, I understand you're possibly not looking for a cleaning company right now, but we are here. That's when you can kind of talk about, we've been serving for 7 years, and what we've known is that cleaning services are not reliable, and we've been reliable, trusted, and true amongst our company. We would love to offer you some kind of incentives, or if we can still meet up for further or future connections, right? A no should never be dismissed as, okay, we lost that. A no is always going to be not now, and you're going to let that opportunity be the not now. But if this is a response in regarding to, hey, what are your rates? Or yes, we're interested. This is when you go deep into your company. Primarily, I always teach my clients, or we set up my clients to always get on a call. I don't like sending a proposal over the email because there's so many factors on every single property that if you send a proposal, you send a team out there and it's completely out of the scope of work, whose fault is that? Yours. So you can't blame them if they're upset if you're trying to increase the quote. So if someone's asking for rates, this is also going to set you apart from other cleaning companies, because if they throw out a rate, yeah, they're going to look for prices. But if you're someone that says, hey, we can send you general pricing information, but in order for us to give you the most accurate quotes for your specific requirements, we do need to see the property and don't get more information. Get on the phone, especially if you want to be speaking with a decision maker. You don't know this is a secretary or someone who's essentially not even going to be hiring the cleaners responding back. We want to contact the person who's making the decision and also build the relationship. When it comes to high volume services, especially thinking reoccurring, not just one time, relationship is important because yeah, you can send your rates and they look for the cheapest option and they get you that one time. But if you don't connect and have them trust you as a company that they will continue to work with, then they're not going to continue to work with. And I can say this because even the day I closed down my cleaning business myself, I still had calls from real estate agents that we've had gone through this cold email sequence and warmed them up and sent over teams. They still contact me to this day because I didn't just send a rates sheet. I reached out to them, I spoke with them, and or we had a back and forth conversation via email where we can build a relationship and see what those prices are specifically for their property. And if you could notice here in this email, I'm going to always ask, I have availability? You're going to state your availability for a 10 to 15 minute call to have that discussion with this decision maker. And the reason why I say that you need to set your expectations, because although you are reaching out, they've already said the fact that they're possibly interested. You want to still be in a place where they see you as an authority and see you set as part. When you set your availability and give them two options, you avoid the back and forth or the no answer because they simply could choose between the one or the other. And they see that you are a busy person. As much as you are offering your services, you're not desperate. Okay, that's what that gives off. And you're going to break down simply what that conversation will entail. So again, these are busy people. You're just going to break down exactly what to expect. Over the call, I'm just going to ask you a few things about the property, what you're looking for. And in that way, I can either set up a walkthrough with you, or I could give you the best, most accurate base quote based on what you said and move forward. Then this is where you can mention about your cleaning company. You're only going just like a resume. You're not going to blab. If you're applying to be a law clerk, you're not going to talk about all the things you did at McDonald's 15 years ago. It needs to be according to the job. So if you're speaking to real estate agent, the 2 to 3 sentences should highlight everything you did to help another real estate property, or how you've executed multiple deep cleans or things like that, like your expertise around what they'll be looking for. This is a special offer that I typically only offer for real estate agent or property managers because they are high volume and they typically will have homes consistently. And on the first clean, we give them an offer they cannot refuse. That's when we propose and break down what our services look like. But for the first time, I'll give you an offer you can't refuse. You're going to experience us. You're going to love us. You're going to see even the interaction is different. You try us out, and obviously through the interaction, the whole process, you lock in, and you have like I experienced real estate agents calling me to this day. Then you end off with looking forward to speak with you. Again, reiterate the 2 times and dates that you are available so that you can get that response and set that up. Okay, that's how simple it is. Okay, you don't have to overcomplicate it, especially if you don't have a response. Don't overcomplicate it. There's no point of having a big blab Bristol board presentation if you haven't had a response or even confirm if there is actually a need. Okay, so again, you can get all this in the high ticket client connect playbook. And it will include phone scripts for those who have opened. I like the secret tip. I'm going to actually throw this in here. I'm going to throw this in. I wasn't going to. I'm going to throw this in here. This is my secret sauce. Every time you use hunter.io, right, it's going to share with you who has opened the email. If they haven't responded, but they open, I would get my VA, and this is what I get my clients to do, or we have done for you services where we have our agents do it, is every time a client or a lead has opened a cold email but has not responded within 24 hours, preferably within an hour, because you know they're at their phones, right? We're going to call them with the updated cold call script where it does mention we've also sent an email. So this is kind of, it's cold, but you kind of mentioned that we've reached out, we've contacted you before, trying to deter the defensiveness in that. Um, and then once you've had that conversation, you say this feel, these are the responses. If it's a yes, wonderful, book a walkthrough, right? If it's a not right now, or we don't need it, then it's simply, okay, great. Would it be possible if I call back within 2 to 6 months, to check in? Maybe it's a different season. You let them know if that's possible. What name and number should we reach out to? And if they say we already have cleaners, you want to ask them, are you consistently happy with them? Because all their quotes are no obligation and it only takes 15 minutes. There's no harm for a number, right? Might as well. And if they asked for you to send a proposal, that's simply bringing up the fact with, typically all properties are super different. So our price list may not be accurate with you. We do need to know more about the property. Are you the best person to talk about that property? You still want to identify if this is the person that would actually be hiring us or not, because there's no point in having this conversation or sending a proposal if you are not going to, right? If this is a person that just trying to say, oh, send me a proposal, we don't want to come off desperate. I want to make sure that this is something that we both want. And there's times when I'll say that, like, hey, there's no point of sending over a proposal if I just don't know your needs. If this is something that you need right now, then we're more happy to do so. But if not, I can always call back in the next 2 to 6 months. Just be very transparent. Like I said, when it comes to cold outreach, it is not meant to do so hard selling. It's simply to identify if there's a need and how you can create value for this individual. Talk to them as someone as a friend or family that you genuinely want to get to know in order for you to connect the best service to them. Okay. Now, if this is someone who is willing to do a walkthrough, you still want to get a few bits of general information before you to walk through. Obviously, you want to know who you're going to be meeting with, or your operational manager is going to be meeting with, the address, contact, square footage, bathrooms, a bit of the property, why are you in the market for a new cleaner? What makes you want to switch, just to get you prepared onto what to look for when you do the walkthrough. Possibly be prepared with the marketing tools that will highlight these areas that your company is, pristine in these areas that they're mentioning before you get into the call. Sometimes, and depending on how well you can converse, and I like to have my clients go to the first 10 to 20 walkthroughs regardless, but eventually when you get higher volume, you want to even see if their budget is accurate to what you are willing to go for. So if your minimum for your move out, move in cleans, even with an incentive, is 300 or 500, depending on the square footage, then you would want to say that. If that's something that's out of the budget, then you move on, because there are people that are more than willing to invest in that. Okay, that is cold emailing for high ticket, high volume, high value house cleaning clients. Okay, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave it in the description, leave it down in the comments. You could get this high ticket playbook in the description box. And if you do want to work with my team, my consulting team, to help solo cleaners transition their business to premium house cleaning and relieve them of the cleaning and go remote, then go ahead and apply to see how working with me will support you and your business. All right. See you in my next video.